Very shortly he will be joining us.
Mishra ji.
Sir, am I audible to you?
Yes, very much audible. Oh, great. तो ये उसी लिंक से आपको जो मैंने भेजा उसी से कनेक्ट हुए ना?
Yes, sir.
ओके, कोई दिक्कत नहीं आई ना?
No, sir.
ओके, फाइन. राइट, आई
So,
थिंक
yeah.
वी हैव 53. अभी कितना बजा है? दो बज गए. आई थिंक वी कैन स्टार्ट.
Yes, sir.
हाँ.
So, on behalf of Department of Mechanical Engineering, MANIT Bhopal, I welcome all the participants. And this is our first session of our faculty 5-day faculty development program. First day and first session of our 5-day faculty development program on system engineering. And our first speaker today is Dr. Vimlesh Kumar Soni sir. Vimlesh Kumar Soni sir is also one of the coordinator of this our faculty development program. So before the start of his lecture, I will like to briefly introduce him. Dr. Vimlesh Kumar Soni sir is presently serving as associate professor in the Department of Mechanical Engineering, Manic Bhopal. He is with Manic Bhopal for the last 18 years and he has held various positions of administration. He is one of the coordinator of this FDP under Atal Academy. He has worked as trainer at Center for Entrepreneurship Development, MP, for 10 years before joining Manic Bhopal. He served at All India Council of Technical Education for 3 years as Director of Approval Bureau. Industrial Engineering, Operation Research, Entrepreneurship, Work System Design, Ergonomics are some of courses he has been teaching to UG and PG students at Manic. His research areas include productivity improvement techniques, performance improvement of small and medium enterprises. He has 6 books, 45 papers in journals of repute, and 27 papers in conference proceeding published to his credit. He has supervised 6 PhD scholars and around 32 MTech scholars. Dr. Soni is also is member with the professional bodies such as Institution of Engineers India, Indian Institute of Industrial Engineering. He is fellow member awarded by Indian Institute of Industrial Engineering. He has visited UK, USA, South Africa to present his research work. Apart from teaching and research, he is actively involved in administrative services of the institute at institute and department level. Presently, he is Associate Dean Academics of the undergraduate programs, Associate Dean Digital Initiatives, Coordinator ED Cell, Departmental Coordinator of Exam, as well as MTech Coordinator of Industrial Design Program. He is member in Advisory Committee of Manit Volta Incubation Center, Bhopal. So, Dr. Vimlesh Kumar Soni is welcomed to his own program. So, I hand over the mic now to Dr. Soni.
Thank you, Dr. Mishra. Uh, in fact, I insisted that we both are known by now to all the participants. The only one thing that little background of the speaker when he comes as expert faculty member to the program. That's what he insisted. So we are there. Uh, Professor Mishra and myself, we take this opportunity to welcome all of you. As of now, 63 participants have joined, and I'm expecting all to join by the time we really come to our session. And uh, so we too have taken this initiative, and the idea was last time when I conducted a similar program on system engineering, it was an overwhelming response all through the country. And after the program was completed, we received feedback from the participants and some of the fellow colleagues of the participants that similar programs, if conducted in future, they would like to attend. Keeping all that in mind, we thought that again we'll push this proposal to Atal Academy for approval. And fortunately, we got this permission from Atal Academy to conduct another program this year on system engineering. I am here at MNIT Bhopal as associate professor, and Professor Mishra is also a faculty in the Department of Mechanical Engineering. We share interest area on industrial engineering and management, so we are together have decided to coordinate the program. What I have decided is, Dr. Mishra, how I have planned my session to all the participants. I would like to share this with. Today, I'm going to cover two portions. One is first 10 minutes, would like to talk about how we'll proceed with the program in 5 days. Because, say, normally when we meet face-to-face program, that time we have ample opportunity to interact and discuss. We share with each other the expectations and the other formalities involved when we carry out the program. But this being an online program, I don't have other option but to include the same thing during my talk when I'm talking to you as an expert on a particular topic. So keeping this in mind, first 10 minutes will be devoted to the whole how about the proceedings of these 5 days. I was not able to send you the completed schedule of 5 days. The only reason was I had all the engagements made for all the 15 lectures. There are 2-3 places where little reshuffling is going on because of the availability of some foreign expert with, and that has to be interchanged. Suppose if I circulate it now and if I later change it, it creates a lot of confusion. So I'm going to tell you because you have got the links. So every link has got in the title day one, session one, who is the expert and what is the topic. So you can easily make out. And today I'm going to tell you about tomorrow. I hope that by the night, late today, I'll be able to freeze the schedule. Though the topics are freezed, experts are freezed, there is only issue with the slots. So that's going on. And once it is done, then I will be able to share with you the final session plan so that you should know what is going on in the program and what is scheduled for tomorrow and then next 4 days. I've made a simple presentation for the how to go about the proceedings. Like there are certain rules for coordinators, there are certain rules for the participants. All that is very important. Why? Because that I have learned from the last year's experience that despite we all are learned and educated, but again the system come into picture. So we are going to have a full program on system engineering, but the system of registration, there was a system of registration, there was a system of conducting there has to be a system of conducting the program when it is online mode, because we are not able to interact with each other in isolation or individually. So whatever is coming up, it is only coming on the WhatsApp group or through mail. I am going to communicate to you, or our other team members are going to communicate to you. We have with us Mr. Abhishek Sharma. I forgot to tell you, who is going to handle as a co-host of the program, and host will be my IT team of the institute. So IT team of the institute, Abhishek Sharma is our team member who will be keeping an eye through the program, and myself and Professor Mishra. This is what is the total team, and we all four are there in the WhatsApp group to take inputs. In fact, the WhatsApp group is made in such a way that in settings I have made it only for admins to pass on messages, because the moment it was created we started with hello and hi and good morning and good evening messages. So what will happen, there's nothing wrong in good morning and good evening, but the only problem is when the WhatsApp box is full of these messages, sometimes we skip the important messages coming from the organizers. So that was the important part. However, anything that is creating any confusion, people are writing to me, to Dr. Mishra, and we are replying to their queries. So I'll share with you a small 2-3 slides on about the whole way how we'll proceed during the 5 days. So with the formal welcoming of all the participants by both of us, the whole team of system engineering at MNIT, HOD of Mechanical Engineering Department, and the whole institute, we wholeheartedly welcome you. I know the participants are there from all corners of the country, almost all the corners. So starting from extreme north to extreme south, then extreme east to west, and I don't think even a state is left without representation. So with this, you know, uh, scope, like the reach of the FDP is going to be the whole country. Morning, 11 o'clock, we have a joint inauguration with the director of Manet being the chief guest, and many other dignitaries were there. And that inauguration that lasted for almost 1 hour time. And so many things were said by the dignitaries on the dais. And the idea was that whenever we are going to enter into a program, if it is having a formal inauguration, then we know little more in depth about the objectives. So the objectives of the sponsors, objectives of the organizers, and then comes the expectation from the participants. That's what we are going to handle now. So please bear with me a very small presentation that I'm going to share with you. Just a minute, let me make it possible to share. Just a minute, I'm taking a minute's time. There are some system settings which are to be made before I start sharing. I will have to log off, and once again I will join, because the setting says that unfortunately I am working on a different system where the settings were supposed to be. I'm just taking a couple of minutes to leave the meeting and coming back. Yeah, am I audible now, Mishra ji?
Yes, sir, you are audible.
Okay, great. And my screen is shared now.
Yes, it is being shared.
Yes, sir, it is
Okay,
visible, sir.
fine. That's great. Yes.
Good evening, sir. Good evening, sir.
Okay, fine. So what I did is, instead of talking to you verbally, I have just made a couple of slides to have more deep inside the whole 5 days proceedings, how we are going to proceed. So that is going to help all of us because we'll be able to know how we are going to proceed. This is faculty development program on system engineering. We all are aware. The duration is from 21st to 25th of June. We have got 200 registrations who have applied on portal because that was the limit set by Atal portal. Out of 200, because that's the practice we are told by AICTE, keeping in mind the previous experiences, that so many people register, but when it comes to joining, sometimes there are some dropouts. So there was a procedure laid down that every coordinator will ask all the 200 participants registered to confirm whether they are able to join or not. So for that purpose, a mail to all approved 200 participants was sent asking to fill a Google form. That Google form was a very simple form. So I received 179 Google forms. 179 because some of the participants have filled it twice. But effectively, there were only 152 participants who marked yes, they are interested. Around 7 participants, because of their inability, they said no, we are not able to join. Rest did not respond despite of our 2 or 3 reminders after the mail. So the last reminder I have sent, you might all be knowing, to those who have not sent, till 17th of June, and 18th was the last freezing date when we did not entertain after that. So my Google form was, the link was disappeared, it was closed, so that, because we have to make our own preparations and links are to be created, the list is to be given to the IT team. So that's all has been done. Now today I received 2-3 mails that we didn't receive any link because they have not filled the Google form. So I was helpless. Anybody who did not fill, it was written in the mail that it means that you are not interested. So we have assumed that those who have not submitted the Google form, they are not interested. So with this background, we have finally 152 participants who have agreed that they are going to attend. With this 152 participants, we decided to start, and this is the demography. Like we are the 2 coordinators, myself, Vimlesh Kumar Soni. We have Dr. PM Mishra ji with us. We both are working in the Department of Mechanical Engineering. It is one of the oldest RECs in the country. The oldest 6 regional engineering colleges is one, which is Maulana Azad College of Technology before, and now Maulana Azad National Institute of Technology, Bhopal, MNIT, started way back in 1960. The timings are scheduled. Session 1 would start at 2 p.m. and will end up at 3:15. Session 2, after 15 minutes break, from 3:30 to 3:45, 4:45. And session 3, again with 15 minutes break, from 5 to 6:15. The platform that we are using is Cisco WebEx. This is where we are right now working. Uh, these are some of the points. Separate links for each session shall be sent all of you at your mail ID. See, it is all automatic. It is again a system. We are going to throw some light on system and all that. But before that, we need to understand that the easiest way for our IT team is when they, uh, link your mail ID with the link that they are sending, it is automatically the messages on your emails is triggered. So you will receive 3 links for everyday proceeding. We are putting those links today evening onwards on WhatsApp group also, so that sometime if you are not able to check your mails, you can join right from your WhatsApp group. You don't need anything to do because now you have joined. So you must have understood that you have to click on that, and that will you are there in the class. Whenever you are joining the session or the class, the WebEx has got a provision to record your login and logout date and time. So, because the Atal Academy has in their scheme document made two mandatory eligibility conditions for awarding the certificate. They say that the attendance of participant, if it is more than 80%, and in the written test, which will be conducted at the last date, is more than 60% score, only those participants shall be able to receive the certificate. So please mind it, my humble request to all of you, that sometimes last program I could not enter the attendance because it was zero to some of the participants, and the participants later on contacted us. We were helpless because they have not logged in at all, and they said they had a logic that because it is YouTube linked, so we have seen all the lectures in YouTube, so kindly give us certificate that cannot be entertained because of the scheme document of Atal Academy. So YouTube recording and is streaming is being done so that anybody who could not attend, or later in future if you want to refer certain things, certain lectures, these will be available on cloud. So otherwise you have to log in and of course log out when the session is completed. So at the end of the FDP, the attendance recorded by WebEx of each one of you shall be put on record as your attendance. So this is one type of record that nobody can manipulate except your login and logout. So your actual login and actual logout details will be downloaded. So WebEx give us a facility, a feature wherein the attendance of every day will reach to the coordinators by the evening of the same day, and we'll try to punch the same thing on the portal if it is allowed. Before each session ends, there is another way out. Before each session ends, you will receive a link for Google form entitled by the entitled means the title will be there by the session's title. So every time, like this is the first session starting at 2, will end at 3:15, and my team will post one link. That link will be a feedback link. So you have to, it's not a big form. It's 2 or 3 queries, your name, mobile number, email ID every time, and 3 queries related to the session input about the faculty deliberation, about the quality of the content, about blah, blah, blah. 3-4 questions are there, and you have to only tick mark. They're not subjective. So your submission of the Google form is recorded in the form of Excel sheet. So these two data, your attendance recorded by WebEx portal, software, application, and your attendance by way of submission of your feedback, will form the basis of whether you were present in the session or not. So this forms another way of attendance. So we are going to club these two, and finally the attendance will be entered onto the Atal portal. So, and there is another purpose of collecting the feedback, because we may conduct next time sometime, or we may like to invite the same faculty in some other course that we are going to plan. Then we would like to have the feedback, and this feedback for individual session and faculty will help us to formulate the evaluation score for the whole EDP. About the written test, on the last day, second last lecture, that is second lecture of day 5, a small written test shall be conducted, and that test will be objective type. It will contain small questions of objective type, fundamental questions from the topics which are discussed during the 15 lectures. And once you tick mark, maybe some 30 or 40 questions will be there in a period of 30 minutes, and you have to submit as a Google form that will be self-scoring. The moment you complete your submission, you will know your score. It's completely transparent, and that score has to be more than 60% in your written test. So these are the two filters, so that the online program should not go like a, futile exercise that you are attending and you have learned something out of it. So these are the two things. I'm going to tell you the broad coverage, though it was there in our brochure also, but there are some modifications sometime because of the better expertise available in some area which we might have forgotten to place in our brochure or other way around. So we have, 10, we can say 10 modules kind, and these 10 modules will take us through 15 sessions. And these modules are design thinking. Say every time I was saying that the system exists everywhere. The system exists in Atal portal for registration. The system exists when the institute submits their application for approval of AICTE to conduct the program. The system exists to conduct the FDP in actual. The system exists for award of the certificate. These are the small systems available, and all these systems we can execute only if they are properly designed. So we all need to develop a design thinking, and we understood from our previous experiences and whatever time we have been teaching or learning on the subjects related to system engineering, which is an interdisciplinary area, we learned that design thinking is something which is inevitable to learn, to work upon, to know in greater details. Then, academically, we are aware, we'll talk after this. There are different ways how system engineering has been defined, but there is an industry perspective. So we need to understand how industry looks at system engineering. So that we'll try to learn from industry representative. We have another stream, that is quality function deployment. So we, designing a system, design thinking is very close to industrial design. And whenever the designing of a system comes into picture, or designing of a product comes into picture, or in general industrial design, QFD is a very, very well-known technique that we need to understand. So quality function deployment shall be dealt with. There is a new term coined, and the person who has coined this is going to be available with us from Eastern University, Birmingham, and he is going to speak to us on technology for circular economy. It's a great detail he has researched, and how the circular economy employed a system approach, and how it's not only to design, create, and disseminate. No, it has to be a closed loop, and that circular economy, every aspect from the economic point of view, how technological intervention shall help in a system approach. So this is another area. Lot is heard about blockchain technology in supply chain. Logistics and supply chain, we have kept a greater detail on supply chain management. So an area which is going to be discussed by another foreign expert, that is on blockchain technology in supply chain. He has been doing a lot of projects and researches through his own work and through the work of the his own scholars. So we'll be talking on blockchain technology in supply chain. Then lean thinking for productive system. Again, all these techniques, when we talk about industrial engineering, which is very close to system engineering, lean is one of the technique. And when we say lean is one of the technique, then typically we know the different lean techniques available, but we need to develop our lean thinking when we talk of productive systems. So how we can make our systems more productive. The expert from NITI is going to deal with this topic based on his own work. We have quality control and management in system engineering. So we have a renowned expert from University of Mauritius who is going to talk on quality control and management in system engineering. Supply chain disruption and role of logistics in pandemic. There had been lot of hurdles, lot of problems during the COVID-19 pandemic. We have always been talking that because of pandemic we couldn't do this, because of pandemic we couldn't attain this. But to many of us, we realize that today we are talking to a person sitting in Port Blair only because of the better way of connecting people, and the logistics are developed in such a way. 2 years back, Microsoft, Oracle, Google were the companies, some of the companies who were having their video conferencing, and the meetings were called to be online meetings. And now how supply chain disruption took place, and how the role of logistics that is has changed because of pandemics. So we have an expert from National Institute of Rail Transport from Vadodara, one of its own kind under the Ministry of Railway, who was a professor before with IIT Kharagpur, and now is going to spend 1 hour 15 minutes with us. We have another expert who is again a foreign university for on power engineering system. See, when we say systems, is the interdisciplinary approach. Could be electrical system, could be mechanical system, could be environmental system, could be construction civil engineering system. But while talking on interdisciplinary approach, we were looking for some faculty who has worked on system using the system approach in his technical area. So not going in technicalities, but going how a project has been implemented, executed using systems approach. Similarly, there has been methods that we normally learn in our elementary courses, decision taking, even decision support system, they follow system approach. And system approach, when it is followed, then we say decision support system. There are tools and techniques used for that, and most predominantly called as the multi-criteria decision making, and there are many other techniques which are going to be learned. So we'll be able to talk to some expert who will be talking to us on decision support system and the related technology techniques made available to us. This is the broad coverage, and the topics will are stemmed out from these broad areas. Once the EDP is over, FDP is over, then some questions come to our mind. How the certificate will be issued, how we'll be able to submit the feedback, when to submit the feedback, and keep on asking the questions on group. So I hope, assuming that we all are there, once the FDP is over, you will be connected on Atal Academy portal where you have registered using your own login ID. Whatever course you have completed, a window opens wherein you can enter your feedback. So participants shall complete the feedback at Atal portal. If possible, the same day you complete the program. If not, if it is delayed, then you can do it on the next day. The coordinator are supposed to upload the day-wise attendance and the marks obtained by each one of you at the Atal portal. Like you are supposed to submit the feedback, we are supposed to enter the attendance every day twice. I mean, 2 times attendance. So that's what we are supposed to enter. So we are going to have the attendance record from two sources. One is the WebEx downloaded attendance, and one is you submitted the Google form for every session at the end of every session. So these two will form the basis for entering the 2 times attendance on daily basis on the Atal portal. So once these three things are entered, means attendance and marks by us, feedback by you, then you will be able to be eligible if you meet the minimum eligibility condition for the certificate, and that will be done at Atal portal digitally. So you will find at one fine morning, maybe a couple of days later, these three things are done. You will find that your signed certificate is made available, downloadable. So you can download that certificate and keep it with you as one of your credentials. Uh, Thank you for patient hearing. Any question on this? I hope you can unmute and ask me. I'm, you know, can you can ask me questions if you want to ask. Anybody having any query? Though I know there's a large number available online, and maybe sometime you all may like to ask me questions, but no problem. We can have some discussion on this. Any question?
Good afternoon, sir.
Yeah, good.
I won't be able to join at 2 o'clock. So, due to some issue, it means I won't be able to join. So, will you kindly pardon, means if possible?
No, there is nothing like pardon. If you are not joining, then I'm sorry, because then the portal will say you have not attended. So there is nothing human intervention is required. So if you will not join, then the portal will say zero attendance.
No, sir. The thing is that due to network issue, I won't be able to join. Due to network issue, sir, I won't be able to join.
You tell me what you expect from me.
Means before joining means came to at the I joined at the end of the discussion. So will you kindly means recapitulate regarding what topic you have been discussing? It will be.
Who will do that and how? How it will be done? You suggest me. I'm ready to do.
No, sir, thank you.
I don't mind doing it. No, you got my question, na? What I'm
Yes,
asking is, had you been in the organizer side and some participant asked that I will not be able to attend, then can you tell me what you expect from me?
So actually, I am asking if possible, means
Yes.
means introduction part which you are explaining. Can you please
Okay,
explain it
okay. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I thought you are asking for the all 5 days you will not be able to join. I'm sorry. That's fine. That I will share. I will quickly repeat. I have shared in the meeting the 5 days proceeding, the broad areas that we are going to cover, the completed schedule plan, which is going to be freezed because of some reshuffling going on. I may be either in the late night today or maybe by tomorrow 12 o'clock. I'll be able to share with you the complete schedule with experts' name, the topic they are going to cover, and their name. So that's what I was sharing. And there were three important things. Every session, you will receive at the end a link. Like I'm going to post a link after I'm going to end the session. So I wish that all of you should, because that can be done on even mobile. If you are attending on mobile, many of you might be attending on mobile, don't mind. You can quickly fill because Google Forms is so easy to fill. But remember that every time you log in to attend the class, every time you are submitting Google Form, you should not change the name of writing your name. At once I write Vimlesh Kumar Soni, at once I write VK Soni, at once I write Vimlesh Soni. So when I sort the Excel sheet to locate your name, it will not be located. Even emails are changed. Sometimes you are registered with X email, and when you are submitting the Google form or submitting the feedback or joining the class, you are using some other email, even the mobile number. If you remember, even the Google form that I have created for confirmation, it has a very predominantly statement, written statement that please use the same mobile number that you have used for registration. Please use the same mail ID and same name. Yes, sometime
Excuse
you
me,
put
sir.
doctor, sometime you, yes, please.
So where the feedback link will be posted, sir, in the WhatsApp group or in the chat box of this WebEx?
No, that will be posted at three places. One is your email, one is your WhatsApp group, and one is on the chat box.
Okay, sir. Okay,
So
sir.
that so that
How
tomorrow you
how
should
much
not
time
be.
will be given for how much time will be given for submitting the
It should
form, sir?
not. It should. That form will not take more than 2 minutes. Not more than 2 minutes. I mean, that will be open. Say, suppose I'm going to end my class at 3:15. So 3:05 or 3:10, I or my team member will send that link to group, to the chat box, and then later to the mail also. So you can immediately do that because 15 minutes break is there. So you can take 2 minutes time and submit it. Because for every link, you have to again join. So there are 3 links you must have received. All of you have received 3 links for today.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Yeah. So every time you have to log in. So once this lecture is over, this particular first talk is over, then you will be asked to join. So again, 3:30, you will have to click on the day 1, session 2. Remember the title. The titles are placed day 1, session 1, this session. Day 1, session 2 will be the next session. Day 1, session 3 will be the third session. So this is how you have to do. So I think the lady who was asking, lady professor, so I hope the things are clear. And if anything is left out, you can ask me on my WhatsApp. I'll reply to you. Any query related to
Thank you, sir.
what
It's
we
clear.
have discussed. Yeah, yeah, fine. Any other
I-
question? If not, then yeah.
Sir, I have a question, sir. Sir, if by chance
Yes.
someone is skipping a session due to some reason or the
Yes.
other,
Yeah.
how much penalty will he be penalized for attendance if a session is skipped or 2 sessions are skipped?
There's no
A session
penalty except absenteeism. There is no penalty except you're against that particular slot. You will be placed absent.
and eligibility will be here or it
Yeah,
will
it's going to be affected like 80% attendance. I'm telling you, all the friends, that we are going to collect 3 times attendance a day, every day, through
Fine, sir.
feedback form. Agreed? And whenever you are logging in for every 3 sessions, so every day we are going to have 3 logins and 3 logouts. Is that fine?
Fine,
So
sir.
every session's attendance will come to us, and that attendance will tell us. I mean, we would like to go very optimistically. We will have all positive approach that any day, if there are 2 attendances available, means we'll mark present in 2 sessions. That's what I mean, 2 times in a day. So from our side, we will not do anything wrong. But remember that somebody who doesn't log in at all, who doesn't submit the feedback form, and tomorrow claims that there were couple of cases who have been fighting a lot later on, we will not be able to help because once we have entered from the database available, which we can't change because Excel sheet cannot be manipulated, that you have submitted the feedback form. The attendance on WebEx cannot be manipulated, that is downloaded. So that's what we are going to compile and upload. I hope I'm clear.
How much liberal are you with the attendance part? Like, let's say, let us keep the electronic part and the digital part aside. How much liberal
Yeah.
are you manually? I'm saying manually.
No, manually I'm not going to do anything. No, that's the problem.
Okay.
Say I'm not going to put anybody from my side absent or present. I
Okay,
told
fine.
you, I'm making it once again clear. Suppose today 3 feedback forms you have submitted. Let's take the one side of the attendance, that is the feedback form.
Fine, sir.
And suppose somebody was absent who has not submitted, say, my feedback, but submitted the other 2 feedbacks.
Okay.
I will mark the 2 attendance morning, evening. Don't worry.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much, sir.
That's what you wanted to listen. That's what I have made it very clear.
Right, sir.
You
So,
got it, na?
if out of 15 session, I am attending 12 session, I'll be eligible for the certificate or not?
Correct. Correct.
I'll be eligible for the
That's
certificate.
correct. That's correct.
Right.
That's
Right,
correct.
right, sir. I got it.
Yeah.
I got it, sir. Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
So these things are, we all are professors, so we can understand that this is how will it be done. So, say as a coordinator, you can take it that we are no negative, not even 1%. I was feeling so sorry for one candidate last time who really did not attend, but he was claiming, and for him, we did so much exercise, but we didn't find even a single evidence that he had attended. Somewhere we need evidence, like it is because it is on portal, it is on digitized platform. So I cannot manipulate that. So don't expect me that 0 attendance and why you have stopped me. I will have to. and both the conditions are to be fulfilled, and they are not difficult. I think by the discussion you must have understood this.
One thing more,
If no more, yeah, please.
one thing more, sir. Like if by chance, due to any circumstances, I have skipped 3 sessions out of the 15 sessions, still I will be eligible for the certificate, right? Sir? Right.
Yes, I have told that. I have
Right,
told
sir.
that.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
You want me to more specific? That's not good. I mean, I told that. I'll be very positive in that. Don't worry. My whole team will be extremely positive. That much I can assure you. Okay, then, if that is done, then about the background of system engineering, I have not prepared any slides. See, this is the course which I am teaching here in the name of work system design, and sometimes in the name of industrial engineering. Because number one, the system engineering as a course that is being taught all through the globe in all the almost all the universities, either by the name work system design, or by the name system engineering, or by the name industrial engineering. See, they all take us to the same content. So every time we work with an objective to enhance the performance of the system. That's why we call it system engineering. It could be an electrical system, it could be an electronic system, it could be a computer system, it could be an industry as a system, like maybe an automotive industry as a system, because every system has certain boundaries. That's what we all know. And that boundary, any component beyond that boundary is something which is falling under some other system. So how best the different integrated components be worked upon so that the final objective of the final performance from that particular system is enhanced, is made better, is improved. And that's how the areas like design thinking, areas like blockchain technology, circular economy, your logistics, digital supply chain management, lean thinking, quality function deployment. These are some of the buzzword when we talk about, and it's not limited to these only. These 10 broad areas are not the limits. It's a limitless, like even we talk on quality, even we talk on personal management, like HR. So HR is a part of, so there is a system. So I was talking about that Atal portal follows a system, and that system says that how the whole application form for FDP proposal was designed so that the required inputs are collected. There was a national screening committee formed. The screening committee had 3 rounds, and then finally they have come to the shortlisted institutions who were approved. And these FDPs are now under conduction. So that whole software was made as a system. So that was the system for submitting the application. There is a system for registration of participant. There is a system for conduction of the program. So I was discussing about the system of this FDP. Okay, once the certificate is issued, this system, the boundary of this certificate is starting with the registration of the candidate on the portal, ending up with the certificate issued. If not issued, then of course the reasons. So this is how a system is defined. So there are different components, there are different team members, there are different disciplinary areas and disciplines, and these disciplines work together. The whole thing that is common in all the components, all the integrated components, is that the sole objective remains same. Everybody will work for the similar performance improvement, say in terms of turnover, in terms of quality assurance, in terms of production volume. The objective will remain same. The conventional approach against system approach is linear in nature. Like we talked about circular economy, there is a conventional approach of finding out the economies. So economics of material management department, economics on finance department, economics related to production department could be different. But when I say circular economy, so starts with coming the idea to one's mind of a product, of a system, and then through material selection, then preliminary design, then detailed design, then production department's entry, then qualities entry, then HR department, then marketing, sales. Actually, marketing comes into picture when design stage is there, and then finally revenue. So finance department. If this all forms a closed loop, then we say this is a circular economy we are talking about. So this is how systems are defined, having certain boundaries, having so many components into it, and working with synergy for a similar objective. So the topic of this FDP is on interdisciplinary areas are covered. So I'm very happy to tell you that out of 152 finally taking part in this program, there are different departments: mechanical, production, computer science, electronics, electrical, architecture. All the branches participants are there. So mind you that none of you will feel deprived of that, having his areas being discussed. That's how we have planned the sessions. If no more discussion required at this time, what I will do is my second, third session joining link is not working. Kindly help and support. No problem. We are going to post it on the WhatsApp group also. I have already communicated to IT team. Somebody has written me on chat box. So that's fine. You will receive that. I don't know why it's not opening, but it will open. But once because it's not the time has not come yet. So once the 3:30 you arrive at 3:30, it will open. I have another agenda for today's talk. To save one slot is, as per the scheme document of Atal Academy, one session was supposed to be kept on new education policy. So new education policy, I have decided that with the introduction to system engineering FDP, little briefing of the topic, I will spare some last 15 to 20 to 25 minutes on new education policy, because all of us have been attending so many webinars and courses on new education policy. But still, I thought that I will run through couple of slides on new education policy so that we are in a position to properly execute. The chairman of AICT always believes that the faculty member and the students, we all faculty members and the students are the major stakeholders who are going to ensure the correct implementation. Say all vice chancellors, all directors, principals are the leaders. Under their vision we are working, but the final steps to be taken are we people. So the same content that AICT is normally using to deliver webinars, I have taken the same presentation courtesy AICT. I am using the same presentation to be shared with you so that there is no confusion when we talk about the new education policy. I will take 2-3 broad areas. One is the reforms that have come up in new education policy, major reforms. Then how it has already started, like, so how it has started and how the things are going on. And the third part is the takeaway from new education policy. So what will be the outcomes? So I'll quickly share with you the screen of my system. I hope it is visible to all of you. And I'm starting my presentation, which are having around 18 slides, but I would avoid reading and will take the gist of it and then share with you. So it's the courtesy to AICT who has allowed me to use the same presentation to make use in the program. I requested them to share with me the presentation which normally the AICT is making use to their workshops and seminars. So it's a same presentation, implementation of National Education Policy 2020 by All India Council for Technical. I put on record the courtesy to All India Council for Technical Education. How the evolution of education policy. We all, many of you, those who are senior people are aware, but still I will just read out. There have been stages in evolution of education policy. How it has come to this 31st May 2019 when the Kasturi Rangan, Ranjan committee submitted its report. Before that, it way back started after independence in 1948-49, when University Education Commission was there. They first drafted the first policy. Then came Secondary Education Commission in 1952-53. So the names have changed, but mostly what was happening is that the objective was similar. So it is being dynamic in nature. Those days the requirements were different. Now these days the requirements are different. So the policies have to be dynamic. Education Commission set during 1964 to 66 under D.S. Kothari, and it was there to come out with a policy of 66. Then National Policy on Education, first time with this terminology, came in 1968. Is my birth year, you can imagine. So 1968 was the time when, after independence, first time the term was given National Education Policy. 42nd Constitutional Amendment was carried out in 1976, wherein education was put in concurrent listing. Then 1986, 1992, the NP 86 was modified with certain amendments, and then came 2016. That was Subramaniam Committee, and that was TSR Subramaniam, who was the chairman of the committee, and they came out with certain outcomes. And then the latest NEP 2020, which was agreed by both the houses of parliament and then implemented, and the executing that execution is going on, is Dr. K. Kasturi Ranjan committee report, 31st May 2019, which is under implementation, under question actually. It is available online, MyGov, 26 January 2015 to 31st. So how it was done actually? 2016, the last NEP was evolved, but the work for next education policy started way back from January 15 onwards. Nearly 2.5 lakhs from Gram Panchayat, 6,600 blocks and 600 urban levels blocks, it was consulted. So this is how from ground the inputs are gathered, and through forming a kind of prismatic approach, it came to the draft document. Draft NEP in 2019, summary in 22 languages and audio books. Education dialogue with member of parliaments of Andhra Pradesh, Kerala, Telangana, Tamil Nadu, Puducherry, Karnataka, and Odisha. That was mainly on the southern states, because the southern and of course eastern states. The idea was that the regional languages should not come as an obstruction to the implementation. So it was implemented that way. The discussion were going on. Special meeting of the cabinet, it took place on 21st of September, and then Parliamentary Standing Committee on HRD has really gave green signal on 7th of November 2019. The major reforms, these are the bulleted points. We may not require to go in details because the document is available on government MyGov website. Anybody can download. This presentation is made as a gist of all that three broad areas. The target by 2035 is that 50% gross enrollment ratio should be achieved. Holistic and multidisciplinary education, flexibility of subject. So there are multiple entries and exits are allowed. UG programs will be of 3 to 4 years duration. PG programs will be one or 2 years. Integrated 5 years bachelor's, master's, MPhil is going to discontinue. Credit transfer and academic bank of credit. So like in foreign countries, what is done is, suppose if I undergone a course at NIT Bhopal, and for some reason I left my education in between, went for a job, and then take once again the admission. So multiple entries and exit is possible. So I go back to some other university, because I have got a credit bank, academic bank of credits, that will carry my credits earned at NIT Bhopal and will be adjusted if they are relevant. And I will earn my remaining credits, and so that my degree is awarded. In higher educational institution, they are to be made more research intensive, teaching incentive universities and autonomous degree granting colleges. So the idea is that HEIs is a term given to higher education institutes all over the country. There are thousands of higher educational institutions giving away the different degrees, graduate degrees, PG degrees, or other diploma courses by way of their affiliating universities or themselves if they are autonomous. Then model multidisciplinary education and research universities, research universities are to be brought in. So the government has already started to work on multidisciplinary education and research universities. So like technical university, we have been talking about, like NIT Bhopal will be asked and has given this freedom through its board of governors. They can decide to run a course on music also. So it will not limit its scope to technical education only. So that is possible. Major reforms continued. Graded economy to academic and that is in terms of academic, administrative and financial. There are three broad classification of autonomy. So right now what was happening, only autonomous or non. So it was a binary system, like either the institution is autonomous or not autonomous. So then in that case, once you achieve present scenario till now, the autonomy was granted by UGC and that is conferred by the affiliating university, and your institution will be called as autonomous institution. So you enjoy your academic autonomy more mainly. But this will be now academic as well as administrative and financial. At the same time, it will be graded. So after certain accreditation process, certain scoring pattern, you will be graded grade 1, grade 2, grade 3. So these are the graded autonomy, and for every grade there will be features as benefits given. National mission on mentoring. So there will be a national agency that is going to mentor the institution who are becoming autonomous. Their board of governors are to be given full independence. Single regulatory for higher education. Like we have heard of UGC, AICT, Pharmacy Council, Architecture Council. There are so many, even Medical Council of India. Now that this already is under implementation, wherein the approvals will be looked after by one agency, even it is arts or commerce or engineering. Like AICT was responsible for only technical education. Now they will look after for approval of. That's what I could understand. So likewise, UGC is named there, but there won't be any UGC, any AICT. This will be Higher Education Commission for the country, a single regulator. Online self-disclosure based transparent system for approvals in place of inspections. So if you, those who are associated with ICT working and now even UGC, the inspections are reduced to almost need based. Like before till 2006, every institution was inspected before they were given extension of approval, and now onwards 2006 the approvals were given on self-disclosure, and then in 2010-11 the e-governance was started by AICT and now by UGC also, wherein the institution will only update and self-disclosure is available. So based on that self-disclosure, the approval is granted, except it is required because of some input received by the regulatory body. Common nouns for public and private HEI. So there won't be any differentiation between the public and private institution. Private philanthropic partnership. We heard about triple P. So private public partnership is now renamed as private philanthropic partnership. So the mechanism might go in same way, which is being formulated now. Fixation within broad regulatory framework is going to be worked out. Public investment in education sector is reached to reach 66% of GDP at the earliest. So this is the target taken by the government of India, and they are going to settle it down. Internationalization of education. So the efforts are being put on by different agencies so that we attract more and more foreign students to our country for education. Integration of vocational, teacher and professional education. So vocational education, teachers education and professional education are to be clear. So I said before that maybe in days to come, NIT Bhopal will be responsible for vocational courses, will be responsible for teaching education, like NITTTR is separately meant for that. So that's what is going to be mixed scenario. So that will be done by Board of Governors, so that flexibility is being granted. Setting up of new quality HEIs has been made easier. So the whole process is being simplified. Standalone HEIs and professional education institutions will evolve into multidisciplinary. I said already before. Special education zone for disadvantaged regions. National Institute for Pali, Persian and Prakrit. National Educational Technology Forum. MHRD to be renamed as Ministry of Education, already implemented. Indian knowledge systems, languages, and culture and values. So this is the basic focus when the education policy was designed. Focus on literature, scientific vocabulary of Indian languages, which is to be put on record for all the programs and courses, that the students who are coming to undergo some course, they should come across all these necessary inputs. The language faculty should be there, research on languages, strengthening national institutes for promotional of classical languages and literature, Indian Institute of Translation and Interpretation are being formed, cultural awareness of our Indian knowledge system, promoting traditional arts and Lok Vidya, higher education institute, school or a school complex to have artist in residence. So because the art part was missing because of the unavailability of the on-campus facilities, that's what has been insisted now. Use of technology in education planning, teaching learning assessment. So already because of pandemic, we have been doing this. Then administration and management, regulation, self-disclosure, minimum human interface, like we were discussing about attendance. So there's no need to coordinator to interfere because it is downloaded by WebEx and smart enough that will tell you what time we have logged in, what time we have logged out. So even the video is being recorded. Tomorrow, if anybody's challenges that I was there, the video is there. So the video can tell us who was there, who was not there. Increasing access for disadvantaged groups. This we have discussed. Divyang friendly educational software. So the whole emphasis has already been put on by UGC and AICT right now, and the new education policy has put it on record. E-content in regional languages, virtual laboratories to be promoted. National Educational Technology Forum, that is NETF, has come up. Digitally equipping schools, teachers, and students. So all the three stakeholders, the school, the society, the organization, the teachers, and the students are the three pillars are to be strengthened. Major reforms to continue: universalization of early childhood care education. So there has been different states, different union territories, and every state got their own state of art methods to for the students who are early education, like early childhood. So that is to be universalization is going on. So be it state of Tamil Nadu, be it state of Madhya Pradesh, except the regional language intervention, else of the things should be made universal. So a person moving from Tamil Nadu to Maharashtra, Tamil Nadu to Madhya Pradesh to Puducherry would not find it difficult to get accustomed. National Mission for Foundational Literacy and Numeracy, 5+3+4 curricular and pedagogical structure, that already had been the buzzword that was published in all the newspaper and TV news. So the total is 15 years. So you come out as a graduate in the age of 15 years if this is followed. Curriculum to integrate 21st century skills, mathematical thinking, and scientific temper. No rigid separation between arts and sciences. This has been said so many times that interdisciplinary courses are to be run. So sciences would be there, arts would be there, curricular and extracurricular activities between vocational and academic streams. So all has to be taken on the same platform. There are some gifted children. There have been case studies published before, and the regulatory body wherein a fix. A student in Gujarat, his parents was moving here and there pillar to post because his kid could pass 12th examination at the age of 6 or 7 years, and he was not allowed to take admission in the college courses, UG courses. So somebody from Gujarat may confirm if it's wrong, if it is right. And that was the case, and there are so many cases came to Government of India, and this facility was available in the foreign countries, and Few states are allowing this, but because of the central government restrictions and the regulatory bodies norms, they will not be able to take admission before a certain age. So that has been taken care in National Education Policy. Gender Inclusion Fund, KGPV is up to grade 12. Reduction in curriculum to core concepts, vocational integration from class 6 onwards. So all the courses need to be equipped with your skills are to be updated, not only the knowledge, but also skills. I'm left with 2 minutes only. I'll request Abhishek, you please post the feedback link by the time I'm running through the slides. Major reforms,
Okay, sir.
there are many. New national curriculum framework for ECE, school, teachers, adult education. Board examination will be low stakes. Abhishek, please post that link on the chat box also. And every time you will do that. Okay. Medium of instruction will be low stakes. Medium of instruction till at least grade 5 and preferably till grade 8 and beyond in home language. So mother tongue and regional languages are giving more importance. 360-degree holistic progress card of child. So if you remember, the continuous evaluation had come into picture, and then that now if I see my kids progress report, it will not have 4 marks only: Hindi, English, sciences, studies. No, it will have so many detailing in the scorecard. Tracking student progress for achieving learning outcomes, National Assessment Center, NTA to offer. We all know that NTA has now started conducting, but the NTA will be the only agency for all kind of entrance examination necessarily. Then NPST book promotion policy, digital libraries are to be promoted, transparent online self-disclosure based for public oversight. The outcome that are expected are the same that we are working for. See, we said working for 50% GR in days to come, but with 100% target GR in preschool. So secondary level preschool should be by 2030, 100%. Attaining foundational learning and numerical skills through national mission by 2025. This is how we were looking at universalization of from ECC to secondary education by 2030. Likewise, the different teachers, your feedback link has already been posted on the WhatsApp group. Once I complete this, you will start filling that. So that the next session will start at 3:30. Bring back 2 crores out of school children, 2 CR. Teachers to be prepared for assessment reforms by 2023. Inclusive, equitable education system by 2030. Board exams to test course concepts and application of knowledge. Uh, every child will come out of school adapt in at least one skill. So skill has to be prominently touched upon. Common standards for learning in public and private schools. This is what is the key takeaway. So the outcomes are now verbatim is given to the takeaways. So separation of functions of the government. So I will tell you in nutshell instead of reading that the regulatory body are different right now. UGC, AICT, Pharmacy Council, Architecture Council, Medical Council, and blah, blah, blah. All these councils, for approvals, there will be one agency. For funding, there will be one agency. For any other thing, like there will be one agency for testing, there will be one agency for accreditation. So there won't be any interaction and confusions, conflicts, which nowadays are found in different courts of law. Increasing choice and flexibility. So the nutshell is being giving more flexibility by way of graded autonomy to the institutions so that they can implement depending on their regional requirements. Autonomy for higher education is already addressed. Curbing commercialization is a big question for the years together, that whenever it's talk about educational institutions, the societies are to work for not for profit. So they will continue for not for profit. Whatever surplus they will earn is to be reinvested back to the society and the institution welfare. Separation of functions, it's repeated but in a different term. Functions of the government reviews then education to remain public spirited instead of commercialized. Learning outcomes measured. So like accreditation, when we apply, the learning outcomes are to be given certain scores. Language norms for schools. Dhanyavad. Thank you very much. Before I actually I have concluded my presentation because I'm still left with no, I don't have any time to discuss. I'll because I and Dr. Mishra will keep on meeting you during the discussion. So next time, whenever I'm available online to meet you during the class, we can have some queries on national education policy. However, this presentation will be shared with you today only with my presentation on the proceedings of the FDP and this presentation. Both the presentation are going to be shared with you on the WhatsApp group. So don't worry. Thank you very much for patient hearing. I'm sorry because the area that I've covered was two instead of one session. So I've safeguarded one slot to be given to some technical session. We are going to reassemble 3:30 sharp. I wish that will not delay, means all of you will be available at 3:30 sharp, because by any chance the expert, when he is coming and he is finding the class empty or only few students are there, it looks pretty very bad. So because you keep on attending and then sometime you are not with the class because you have lost some of the part of the lecture, you will not be able to give a quick link. So any question, keep reserved. Whenever I come back to you next time, we will have a question answer. I'm calling it a day. Thank you very much for patient hearing. You have got the link. Chat box, is it there? You have posted? Yeah, great. Abhishek has posted on chat box also. I can see it on chat box. So now I don't need to place it on mail. But we'll send on mail also, Abhishek. Can you please send on mails all the 152 participants together, the final list of registered candidates? You can send a mail to all of them so that nobody complains that I did not receive it. So you all receive it with a request that you kindly fill it and submit it immediately so that you don't forget. So thank you very much for your patient hearing. We'll keep meeting whenever we find a gap. We will meet back at 3:30 with a different link. Don't forget that there is a different link, day 1 session 2, where you have to click and join. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank
Thank you, sir.